In the last video, we went over on how to install PHP. In this video, we'll show you how to install Git, get it set up, and also demo on how to create a local website and have it be able to be pulled up from the browser. So the first thing you want to do is you want to go to the Git website and install Git. So the website is located up here. Essentially, I just opened up Google and typed in Git for Windows, and it led me to this website. And automatically, when I went to this website, it automatically triggered the Git software download. So it detected my operating system and invoked a Git download that's compatible with my operating system. So it's already finished downloading. And next thing we want to do is we want to go to it. So I'm going to go ahead and open up the downloads folder and then double click on the exe file. Now for me, I just went through and just essentially went through all the default options. So I'm just going to go ahead and click on next throughout the entire process. So Git has just finished installing, so I'm going to go ahead and click on finish. Once I unclick that, finish. So what I recommend doing before we start with anything else is we should go to the folder where Git is installed in. So that would be under C, Program Files, Git. And what I like to do is I right click and I'll go to Properties under gitbash.exe. I'll go to Compatibility. And then I make sure that it's set to run this program as administrator. And I also will do it the same with the git-cmd.exe and make sure that it is able to run as an administrator as well. So let me double check Git bash again. So under compatibility, it's set to run as administrator. And then if I click on change settings for all users, it's also checked to run as administrator. So that's good. And then for the CMD, we'll go to compatibility and make sure it's set to run as administrator. That looks good. And administrator here, so that's perfect. So Git will always run it as administrator, and that will be save a lot of time in the future. So the next thing we can do is if you right click, you'll notice that under your drop-down menu, you have two new options, Git GUI here and Git bash here. What you want to do is you want to click on Git bash here. And essentially, it wouldn't matter where you trigger the Git bash. Essentially, what we need to do now is to create our public and private keys so that we can use, we can open up the public key and we can copy the content of what's inside the public key, copy to our clipboard, and then go to GitHub. And then within GitHub, go to Profiles, and then from Profiles to Settings. And then within Settings, there's a place to then paste your public key. And that way, we could then essentially be able to interact with GitHub from our local machine. So the command to create public and private keys is SSH -key -t RSA-C capital C, and within quotes you would put in your username that you use for GitHub, and it could be whatever. So once you do that, you'll go through a series of prompts. Most likely you'll probably just hit through enter and essentially just go through the default settings. And then once that's finished, your public and private keys should be stored in the default location. And then the default location, so when we're done with this, and close out of that, the default location should be under in your user profile folder. So I'll bring up mine. So it will be C users, and then your username, and then .ssh. And you'll see both the public and private keys. What you'll want to do is you want to open up the public key. It'll have an extension of .pub, and you want to open that up in something like Notepad. once you open up a notepad, you want to copy the entire content of that public key, all the characters, numbers. You want to copy it to your clipboard, and then you want to go to GitHub. So let's go to our browser, and when you have the content in your clipboard, you'll go to Profiles in upper right, and you'll go to Settings, and on the left hand side you should have something called SSH and GPG keys. Once you click on that, you should be given an option to be able to insert a new key. So you'll click on new key, and then you can name the key whatever it is, and then paste in the essentially the key into the text area box that's there, and then save it. So that way now you have linked your public key in GitHub to your private keys on your local machine. Once you do that, you should be able to then pull any projects from GitHub through, once you set the origin seamlessly, especially now that you set Git to run as administrator. So that's essentially GitHub and Git and how to install it on your machine. The next thing I want to demo is how to create a local website on your machine so that you can start developing on your local machine. So you'll create a folder, and typically the folder will be in CINET-pub. So let's create a demo website. CINET-pub www.root, and then I'll create a new folder, and then I'll just name it website demo. And then within website demo, if this was going to be a project I was going to pull from GitHub, I would just right click, I'll do a git bash, set git init, and then essentially set the origin URL that I have on GitHub, and then I'll pull the project in, do a git pull origin master or dev and so forth, and then the project files will be in this folder, and then that'd be a good start. In this case, I am not going to pull from GitHub. I'll just create a example PHP page. And I'll just do a simple hello world. And I'll go ahead and save that. And close that out. And I'll bring up the IIS manager. And on the left-hand side, I will create a new site. The new site will be called demo.local. Host name is going to be demo.local as well. The physical path, I'm going to have it go to the demo website folder in CINET-pub www.root, and then website demo. I'll click on OK. I'll click on OK here. And then the next thing you want to do is you need to set up the host, set up your host in the host file, and that's located in C, Windows, System32, drivers, etc. And then you want to open up hosts. Open it with Notepad. And I have Notepad running as administrator, so if I save, it'll actually save. And then you just want to add in the setting of the home IP, your local machine. And then I'll just have it be demo.local. And I'll click on save. Looks like I did not do it in Notepad. Okay, so let me don't save from here. I'll fire up Notepad, and I'll right click and run as administrator, and then I'll open up the host file. So let me just go back to the desktop, and then let's start over. So we'll do my computer, and then C, Windows, and then System32, and then drivers, etc, and then make sure I can see the host file, and then I'll add it to here, 127.0.0.1, and then demo.local. Save it. And now that I save the host, if I go to http demo.local, I should get my hello world website. And there you go. So essentially, we just created a demo website on our local machine, as well as set up and installing Git. In the next video, we'll be talking about installing database drivers so that we could connect to Microsoft Azure. See you then.